We've seen it big now locked in battle with Team Liquid. That's happening on the B stream. For now, we have NTC versus mousesports coming up here on the A stream. Yes, indeed, they're running 2 streams simultaneously in our first day here for ESL One Belo Horizonte. Can't really be asked to do that all the time.
Just do the beautiful horizon.
Yeah, the beautiful horizon. We are here at ESL One Beautiful Horizon. I have Jason Mozotool and a new face joining us at the desk, and I've been practicing, and he tells me I get it wrong every time, but I'm going to try anyway. Mathieu Guicret, otherwise known as Maniac. We're going to be calling him Maniac for the rest of this one. Of course, fabled Swiss/French star. He's been playing a lot of French rosters now. He's been brought back to the desk. We did this a while ago. When was it?
San Jose.
San Jose.
Yeah,
before pre-Oakland.
That was a really good experience. So when I got given the opportunity, I jumped on it.
Absolutely, and we're looking forward to hearing your thoughts on this one. So mousesports versus NTC. I actually don't know where I'd like to start with this one. I mean, the Brazilian roster is so very intriguing, and we are, of course, seeing them here in Brazil. So lots of kind of question marks surrounding them, Jason.
For me, it's more this story about NTC is like a redemption story for guys like FNX, KNG, and Phelps. Obviously, FNX and Phelps both being part of the SK roster. Obviously, FNX is part of the team that had their initial rise to success with some major victories. And Phelps coming in, trying his hand at it, not even being able to work with Fur and their kind of aggressive play styles. And then obviously we know KNG, such a skilled player, but also someone who's, unfortunately, that talent has been overshadowed by, you know, his extracurricular activity, I believe we'll call it. But just overall, these guys are obviously very talented, very knowledgeable, very good, with great pedigree and great resumes, and just not able to make things work, you know, over the past year. And this is about them trying a new project and trying to get back into it.
I mean, when you see it on paper, Maniac, do you think this is a roster that can hit hard, that has a chance here?
Well, the thing is, if you consider the individuals, I think they are extremely good. You have explosive Opper. I think FNX was amazing when it was in SK. Cello is regarded as a very up-and-coming player in the Brazilian scene. So I don't really have much information on them, but if things click together and the synergies here, I think could be a very competitive team.
It's always going to be like that kind of core trio right there that we just talked about, the known quantities, we'll say, at this level of play with FNX, Phelps, and KNG. It's going to be high octane, it's going to be aggressive, and it's going to be very skill based. The question around this team always, and it has been, you know, for rosters that these guys have been on in the past, if you think back to Krakow with that incredible run to a second place finish there, it's not so much do they have the talent, it's like do they have the dedication, and do they have the mindset, and do they have the organization outside of the game to be able to properly prepare? Can they be more than like a one-trick pony in the sense that, can they play a tactical style? Can they develop that kind of side of the game so it's not just what kind of frags are they getting and how are they just kind of piling on into the bomb sites? Because that run in Krakow was a lot of just getting frags and just overwhelming defenses very quickly into these bomb sites.
Absolutely, couldn't agree more. I mean, mousesports on the other side of things is a roster that we do know a bit more about, or at least we know about the normal roster. Things have changed here. We've got Jordan Nothing Gilbert filling in for Oscar as he's taking time away, unable to attend this event, rather, is probably a better way to phrase it. Due to personal reasons, he'll be back with the team for their next event. But we have a stand-in for mousesports, and does that make you doubt them a little bit here, Maniac? Do you feel like you haven't got much less expectations?
No, yeah, absolutely. I think regardless of how good Nothing is able to play at this tournament, which is he can probably play really good. Yeah. The thing is with Oscar is that, first off, he's the Opper. So on a structural point of view, changing the main Opper is always going to have huge consequences of how you want to play, the structuring in game. Then again, statistically, he's their best performer. I think he's one of the best Opper right now in the scene. He's very reliable, always gets his double, triple kills. So I'm not really sure how mousesports is going to look like without the Opper. I mean, they have players who can Op. I mean, Chris J is known as a secondary Opper. But I think missing Oscar is going to be a big piece. And in that scenario, when you have like a stand-in, it's either one of the two. It's like either you have no pressure at all and you just have fun and you don't really respect the principle of CSGO.
I think that's the vibe I got from them. I spoke to them. We actually were sharing the van from the airport here, and I just kind of asked them a couple of questions regarding, you know, what on earth they're going to be planning on doing here. No Warpo. Is Chris J going to be picking it up, get Jordan on it, whatever it may be? And the general consensus is we haven't really done too much practice because they took this opportunity knowing that they wouldn't be able to field Oscar. Rops is catching up on all of his schoolwork as well, bearing in mind he is still doing that, and so they haven't necessarily come into this event with the winning mindset, but it also does mean that they have the mindset of relax, no pressure, and I tend to find there's a correlation between that mindset and some success, Jason.
Yeah, I mean, you obviously, when you kind of remove the pressure, it's going to help massively as well for someone like Jordan, who doesn't have, or someone like Nothing, we should say, who doesn't have like the kind of recent experience playing at this level. He's been streaming and everything like that, and we've seen all the stream clips. Like, we know he can do it, and it's crazy the fun clips that you have him talking through his exact decision making. Well, you can't talk through it, right? You're not going to have that much time at this level of play. It's a lot by instinct, and that's where the kind of inexperience points for him will hurt. I think the pressure being removed, but I think the big question for me is Chris J, if he's the one who's just going to pick up the op and kind of replace Oscar with those duties, is he going to be prepared for that level of dedication to the weapon?
It is a weird one, for sure. We do have the vetoes available, though, so let's start that conversation. We don't know too much about NTC's map pool, and mousesports have a stand-in, so let's not feel the need to take too much time with this. When we can just start rolling through them, I'd like to just take a look at these vetoes. Word on the street is that they are ready. I'm just looking now to see maps recently played by NTC in their local scene. All these games, of course, versus other Brazilian rosters, and all wins, so that means something. But, yeah, very little information we have. It was at some of the qualifiers for... I think this is the minor, the South American minor, they're picking up wins there.
Well, if I'm not wrong, I think they share a pretty similar map pool. I think the 3 maps that both teams play the most are the same. I think it's Inferno, Train, and Mirage.
Sounds about right.
So I think when it comes to map, it's not like really a team can outplay the other in the map pick. But the thing I'm impatient to see is how the missing Oper is going to come into the veto system. Because, for example, if you're comfortable on Train, but you miss your main Oper, we all know the impact of an Oper on Train. So... in that regard, I'm very interested in what Mouse is going to come for.
Yeah, well, I was told we had the vetoes. Let's see if we can maybe summon them with the magic fingers again. Yeah, here they come. Come on, baby. Come on.
Oh, there it is. That's beautiful.
They work every time.
It's great.
Yeah, so bye-bye Inferno. NTC having absolutely none of that, quite contraire to their, of course, rivals SK, who have been attempting to beat Space Soldiers on it, and no overpass from mousesports. That doesn't change anything, Jason. That's pretty standard.
Yeah, I think as well, if you're NTC, you kind of are going to... it's so tough because Mirage is one of those maps as a new team that you're going to want to do because everyone plays it, so you need to be able to play it. But mousesports is one of the best in the world on it, so there's a little bit of a trap there. I don't think they're going to want to pick that. I think you want to make mousesports kind of pick that because you have such a low percentage of winning it. This is where I think they're going to go for something like a Dust 2. Wouldn't surprise me at all because it is kind of one of those maps you can always kind of work in. It's good for underdogs. It's always a big risk for, you know, the favorite, quote unquote. And they go for Train with so that's going to be something maybe trying to take advantage of Chris J and Oscar, this swap of the AWP.
I'm surprised you're not looking more smug, Maniac, because you nailed it.
I'm a modest person.
Yeah, modest man, but indeed he's right. First
Don't
two
do
maps.
That. Brag.
Nail on head. Train and Mirage, he absolutely called it. The question is, what did we end up on? Dust 2 probably? I mean, we don't know anything about NTC. Likely going to be removed. What else does that leave us with?
I think Dust 2 is a possibility, and I think
Nuke in there
might
still?
be one.
Oh, Nuke it is.
And here's what's interesting is that for me, mousesports is extremely good on Nuke. I think their T side, I have tasted it on LAN against them, been destroyed by them with LDLC.
How did it taste? Not great?
Bad, really,
Bitter?
to be fair. But it was nice to see after, as an analyst point of view, I guess. But the thing is, they're not here with the full roster. And I think Nuke can have a huge impact, whether you're a 5-man or a 4-man roster together.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Oscar's good. I mean, that's a map that you just get to see him just dominate on both sides with the AWP, which is not necessarily something you see all the time. With this said, though, our first map will be Train. I've just received word that there is a slight delay, a player fixing his keyboard, so we can take our time to talk about this first map. NTC going to be jumping into Train. Nuke potentially going to be a conversation I'm looking forward to having.
I don't think this lack of Oscar is going to be too deadly for mousesports at the moment because they're also experienced on Train. They're also been comfortable on that map, and even though you're missing an Opper, we know Chris J can take it over if he really wants to, but if not, he was always good at playing aggressive even on the CT side, so they could actually, like, you can't ever remove the fact that you don't have an Opper on Train, but if you play that kind of style where you have someone in ladder room, someone at E-box, someone at that first Train, whether it's an Op or not, and you play in front of the smokes and you don't ever let them get to that point where the range of the Op is going to be a factor that you're missing. If you can just keep playing aggressively, NTC's going to have to prove that they have the coordination and kind of the game plan and the flashes and the smokes ready and set up to be able to get around a tactic like that.
It's going to be, I mean, the conversation that I've heard previously from analysts is that, you know, you don't necessarily need a dedicated AWPer until your opponent has you know, one of the best AWPers in the world. Then it becomes a problem, and KNG has at times looked like he fits the bill. You know, he is one of those AWPers that you kind of need a response to. If Chris J is going to change from occasionally secondary AWPing to having to fight versus KNG's presence on Train, there could be a problem. I mean, you already suggested it, Maniac, that Train is one of those maps.
Well, not only I think is KNJ a very dangerous AWPer for mousesports. When I was talking about tactical consequences, is also it's one thing for Chris J to be able to AWP, and I think he is definitely. I mean, he proved it many times being a secondary, very efficient AWPer. But then again, if he's gonna take Oscar's position, then who's gonna fill his position?
It's like a knock-on effect.
Exactly, because when you're in-game leader as CT, you want to be able to shape your defenses. You want to be like, your presence shapes the whole defense. But if he's going to be the main AWPer, then maybe, you know, he's going to have the freedom, but it's going to have impact on the tactical. So that's what I don't really know what to expect from mousesports.
I just want to see them playing like loosey-goosey Counter-Strike. I think we are going to see a little bit of a... I think the test is what nothing is going to bring to the team. I think he could actually keep their morale a little higher than perhaps it normally is. They do seem to be a team that does fall quite quickly. Well, that was nice.
I had a long day of travel with nothing, and I talked to him about this a couple times. I was a little delirious from lack of sleep, so I'm trying to
see
recall.
If you can recall it. Yeah.
No, but I mean, he's coming into this and just this is going to be fun for him, right? This is him saying like he knows there's no pressure on him, and he's not putting any kind of crazy pressure. Obviously, wants to play well, which is going to be in the back of your mind, but he understands fully the kind of situation he's coming into. So I think for him, it's just do even just the bare minimum is fine in a way. Just don't be a liability, and that needs to be his one goal that he has, especially in these first matches.
This just sounds so silly. His one goal is just don't be a liability. Just throw the right flash and hopefully get a kill. And
you're right. This is kind of like nothing. He will be kind of the energy guy on this team because they are some very quiet players. Rops, Sonny, these guys aren't like super talkative, super energetic. So Jordan just comes in and makes the air on the team a little bit lighter, lets him have a little bit of fun, and that's always going to help you kind of get over missing one of the best players on your team and one of the best players in the world is just kind of keep the atmosphere and kind of roll with momentum when you have it.
And something I'm going to be taking a look at, and I think I'd be interested to know your opinion here, Maniac, is that I saw Sticko made it very clear, or Sticko, whatever you want to call it, made it very clear that the criticism he was receiving from the community and from players in and out of the server was getting to him. He was having a couple of underperformances, a really bad tournament, I believe, very recently. Now, this is probably, would you say this is a good opportunity because there is less pressure that he can perhaps find his feet again, or is this only going to get worse?
No, I think you're right. I think a tournament like this with a little bit less pressure, a different setup might be a good thing. Maybe you have a good performance individually, and then you step back. It can go one way or another very quickly. One good performance then lead to a lot of confidence, and then you go back on it. But I mean, the Sticko problematic is that on one hand, I acknowledge that his roles, positions as CT, positions as T, are not the ones that you expect to get like 4 anti-eco kills and you're going to hype up the stats.
Sure.
But I kind of agree that he could and should probably do more. And I look up to him as a very good player, very clever player. I talk to him a lot and he understands the game very well. And I think for him to step up would be a step for mousesports going very close to that really like top 2, top 3 teams.
Okay, so he's the not necessarily a win condition, but in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, he could be like one of those avenue of development for mousesports if he got really to a better level, I think.
Yeah, Jason, what do you reckon?
I mean, I like Sticko as a player. I don't mind him so much. I don't think he's any kind of like crazy liability or kind of like negative impact on this team. I think the tough part for him is that criticism is never going to stop because who gets the criticism more is guys like Nico and guys like Simple when they have off games. They get that criticism as well. Now, obviously, it's different. You don't get it every single day the way Sticko probably does, but you have to acknowledge the fact that there's a large part of the community that doesn't kind of understand the role he's going to play within this team, and you have to be very mentally strong to be able to withstand that kind of criticism, and that's where he needs some growth. You can't be going on Twitter and saying like, oh, this isn't really fair, this is really affecting me. This is professional competition. It's time to like kind of get over that fact. You need to be better in terms of like mentally being able to handle it.
I mean, it is a challenge. We've seen so many players kind of, come and go through that phase. I think, Taco is a prime example. You can see where he is at now. He's looking so much better and rejuvenated once he has changed roles. And
Taco deleted Twitter off his phone for a while. He hated being on Twitter after losses, and he couldn't stop himself, so he just straight up deleted it.
Respect that, yeah. I mean, Smiths is another prime example of a player that received so much criticism that he actually turned away from playing. I mean, the list does continue, and it is a genuine discussion to be had about players that perhaps are playing the more supportive roles or perhaps are more emotionally unstable when it comes to their performance and the connection between the two. It's intriguing, and I think Sticko is going to be, I'm going to keep my eye on Sticko throughout this tournament just to see how that continues to develop and see if he can find his feet once again.
I think as well, as much as I just kind of say he has to get stronger with criticism, as he's one of those players, his team, he needs to find a lot of comfort in the value that his team has in him, and he's got to be very confident in the fact that the other guys are just saying you're an important part of the squad. And you always kind of know that as the player who doesn't have the scores, that is where it hurts you, where not only is it the criticism of the community, or is it the fact that you don't feel that important when it comes to tactical and the wins within your team, your players' value? So that's something mousesports in general can help him with.
Absolutely. We are receiving word that there's just we're restarting the server, so don't panic. I know you want to see that Counter-Strike, but just a little bit more of us talking heads, talking about two rosters we actually have no information about.
We can dance too.
We could do a dance, I suppose. But yeah, no, NTC, of course, we haven't really seen them play. You saw the fun stat. This is the first time we see KNG at an offline event since his shenanigans, I believe was the word they used. But yes, we get to see him back in action and back in the server. A player that impressed us an awful lot as well. A lot of people were surprised to see his impact so quickly, his meteoric rise through the ranks. And now magic words in my ear. It sounds like we're almost ready to jump into this one. Questions are predictions, though. Does anyone have faith in NTC with zero information that they have?
I actually do.
Ooh.
I think,
there he is.
Okay, I'm taking risk. You know, I'm new to this analyst thingy. I guess I don't really understand the consequences of being wrong.
Absolutely zero. So
no, but
ahead.
the thing is, if I had to pick a risky guess for this day, this might be it. This might be this NTC that we don't know so much about. This mousesport with the stand-in.
It could happen.
It's all prime. It's all prime for an upset, isn't it? I'm going to go with mousesports, though.
All right, we've got a split analyst desk, but yes, mousesports taking on NTC. It's train first. We'll see if we get to see the AWPing prowess of the infamous KNG. Time to jump in, though, with your casters, Henry G and Sadakist residing.
NTC. Henry, we've been waiting for a while since there was 100 Thieves, since there was Lucas and there was Henny, and now it's KNG, Bit, Cello, FNX, and Phelps. Believe it or not, that's your lineup. You got 2 former SK players in there, a major finalist in KNG, Cello, potential, and then Bit, who just seems, in my eyes, as I know him, to fill in the extra spot, although I'm sure there's more to it than that.
He was a 1.6 legend. He played in the CGS with me, Matt, so there's a bit of trivia for you. Yeah, definitely one of the bigger names of 1.6 past, but not so much in CSGO. We'll see whether he can step up. As we get into the first round here, we're going to see NTC on the T side of a train. An interesting map, like the analyst guy said. We don't know really anything about NTC, haven't been to a big international tournament yet. Star-studded lineup in terms of some of the names available to them, but are they a decent squad? That is a different question altogether. Remember, slight, well, maybe massive caveat, no Oscar coming into this particular event. It's going to be nothing replacing him, so they've lost a massive string to their bow, considering they don't have that all potential. But here's the inside play, and Rops to try and defend the inside bomb side, but not going to find any shots just yet. It's up to Sunny now to pick up the pieces.
Not Spanish, just to be thrown off by that flag. KNG does take down Sunny. Good starts to get him back into a LAN. First time sent to Montreal. Stico will get KNG and put him down. The king is dead. Phelps gets Jordan. Nothing Gilbert. He's on for mousesports. If you didn't catch the desk or haven't really kept up, he's in for Oscar. Phelps to get Stico, and it's NTC, their first round on a LAN.
Well, that's not bad, is it? Kicking things off in style. 2 frags for Phelps. Obviously, we just casted SK. He was a former member of them and major champion with that particular squad. And Cello as well. Enablers becoming more and more prevalent. We've cast him a couple of times in different lineups, I think, and he was actually quite impressive, as he'll find 2 kills as well. Have to be the Force Spy, and Stico has the Scouts. So watch out for that. The guys at mousesports, so they didn't really practice much at all when nothing joined. They've had practice rooms here, of course, boot camp rooms, I guess we call them. They've been playing the last 2 days in those. They've definitely got some practice in. How effective it is yet to be seen, but here's Sunny with the CZ getting it. 1 kill at least. I thought he'd be done for, but Cello answering back, an emphatic style there. A couple of kills for him. That's going to be the cue to get in. They'll assume the site is open. That's why Robs can capitalize here, but it hasn't got the CZ, but it doesn't seem to matter. This is absolutely phenomenal by him. The 5-7, making a name for himself, and an appropriate timing as well, considering the CZ has sort of nerf, showing us that can be a very effective weapon as well. 4 kills, lovely headshots. The 5-7 is back.
That is unbelievable. And you wonder if some of these players saw the patch and switched their weapons in their inventory and then went, oh yeah, wait, we're on the old one. Because we didn't see it a lot or as much in the last series as well. But that is absolutely incredible from Rops. It's got a number of bullets. You can see it, 20. So even on that 3rd one, when he missed a few times, if that was a CZ, you have to reload there. There's no chance for the 4th.
Yeah, true.
Rops does a tremendous job, and it is 1-1. NTC lose their first anti-eco already. They're going to rush it toward Ivy, and here comes Stico. Double spray. Nothing goes down, but KNG finding 2 gives some hope, perhaps, to NTC. They still have the bomb, but watch for Bit.
A sliver of hope, for sure. It's now 3 versus 2. Bit CZ at that range, always going to be a difficult challenge for him. Sunny will capitalize. I've got mousesports as my favorite in this particular map, this series. And yeah, just because, sure, they're missing Oscar, but nothing is no strangers here. He's very experienced, knows what he has to do to win these games. Doesn't have to be the star player, but KNG does find his 3rd frag. But when it tends to work,
this could work out. Chris is making a lot of noise too. He thinks he's further up. KNG's ready with the M4. Oh my goodness, I thought he was going to get a 4th.
Not quite, but a decent effort. That was the Force Spy in response. Mousesports now should have quite an easy round in front of them with the Eco coming forward. What have you seen?
Can we just talk about how serious Chris looks in that photo?
He looks like he's seen some things, doesn't he?
Don't look at me.
Everyone gets new photos here.
We didn't.
We did. We were supposed to, but that was cancelled. I think we're doing it in Cologne instead, so we can get some more couple pictures then.
Well, 2-1. Look, I'm on your side. I think mousesports, it has to be your favorite coming into this. They've been incredible as of late. Sure, they don't have Oscar, but they're playing against a team who is going to be learning every step of the way, despite having so much experience. I guess you could argue that, hey, they've got time to practice.
Yeah, absolutely. That'll be one thing they can really be ready for, but whether this particular game is a good matchup for them, I'm not sure. I have no idea how efficient they are as a squad. I haven't seen them at any big tournaments really ever. I think this is probably their debut, I would say, in that sense, on home soil. As it is going to be 3-1, like I said, that's a very easy round. Just to know on the B stream now while we're here, Big with their LAN debut of their new lineup with 14 rounds against Liquid. The problem is Liquid have 15. So
it sounds so good until you throw that in.
So it looks like the bomb's going down. Liquid might be closing things out, but that's just a little update there. It's always interesting to follow some of the lesser names at these kind of bigger tournaments. There's Robs and Co getting it done. Like you said, Spanish flag is not accurate. He's Estonian.
Small country above Latvia. I think there's 1.8 million people there.
That sounds a little bit too little, but
I'll look it up.
I think you're probably because London has 11 million videos. It should be at least like 5 to 10.
Yeah, London's a big city. Canada only has 32 million people, and it's massive.
You're right. You're correct. I didn't think that would be.
Yeah, 1.3 million.
That's tiny, isn't it?
Yeah. Crazy. Craziness. So I was actually above 1.3 million. I thought it was hang on.
Take it back.
Phelps will sit all the way, speaking of back, toward A main. Bomb intentionally left out toward T-spawn. KNG gone already, so the first pick of the first gun round goes the way of Rops. Sticko still just making sure no one's going to be working down from Ivy. Chris will hold alongside of him, but he has to watch all the way down as well toward A main. Deep smoke FNX. This could be the start of isolation. Nade's going to be timed perfectly. In fact, double nade Cello. Hello.
Hello, Cello. 3-1. It looks like this round will be converted as well. Very promising scenes. Chris J, no stranger to the AWP. He'll be absolutely fine on a map like Train. Phelps trying to do whatever he can now. Great shot, that AK-47. Look for the double. Nothing, though. Even better shot, I would say. Fantastic work by him as he keeps the dream alive here. Bit and Cello are very low indeed. They've got 5 HP on Bit and 21 on Cello. Looks like this frag will be converted by Sticko there. Nice work. And now a 4 versus 2 ensues. We'll have to save the weaponry here. Bit holds onto the AWP and Cello with the AK-47. Round 6 and starting to look very promising now for mousesports. No jersey for young Jordan. He is the mercenary if anyone's not aware. He's not really an active player anymore, so that means he's very promising for filling in roles like this. He's probably not active in any sort of the leagues like Pro League or ECS, for example, so he can fill in at any of those sort of tournaments. And as far as I'm aware, like you don't need to pay him a massive salary or anything. He's happy to turn up and play and show the world that he can still compete at this sort of level. At least slot in quite nicely. He's going to be great for a team like mousesports. You see that sometimes get a little bit dejected when rounds go against him.
I will throw it out there. They did try to get simple.
Did they really?
Yes, they did.
But he's playing in Shanghai, right?
Exactly.
So
he couldn't make it.
He has filled in for them a few times online before, actually. I do remember that. So that's quite funny. If you bring in the world's best player to your squad, that's always going to be a little bit of a boost to morale, perhaps. But
all the Nothing fans out there thinking, why would they want him first?
Yeah.
Well, Sticko and Chris J get the kills on the board. Good shot back from Cello. He'll get Chris, but that's about all as Bit and he fall to nothing and Sticko. So Jordan on the board. I think he's got, what, a few kills by now? KNG finds himself in a 1 versus 3. AWP a minute. Good luck to hold that. That said, if they get too aggressive hunting him down, he could catch them off one at a time. 5 kills for KNG. Seems to be the most consistent so far on the NTC side.
Got a bit of a deadly AWP when he was the Immortals squad. Certainly showed us what he was made of at some tournaments. Fantastic, flicky, and snappy aim. We'll see whether that gets to be shown here.
Keep in mind, this will be the first time in history that a full-fledged owner of an org, Astralis, the players have shares, but an owner of an org is playing on his team, because remember, NTC is the clothing brand from FNX.
That's true. I didn't know he actually owned it, but
I think
I knew he was involved.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm assuming. You're right. I could be. I think I think he does.
Yeah.
Someone will correct us, I'm sure.
I see all those kind of, that crew using NTC gear, like Henny and Lucas always wearing it as well.
Yep.
But that's going to be a round once again for mousesports. Nothing. Robson Sticko survived. 2 kills there for Sticko towards the Ivy position, saves the AWP. KNG will also do that, but this is starting to look a little bit like what we expected. mousesports certainly the favourites here, but still very early days on the T side of train. Money not fantastic. It'll take a tactical time I have. I'm not sure if NTC have a coach, to be honest. We'll see whether they will have anyone standing behind them. I'm sure we'll get a screenshot of them eventually, but either way for now, you can see the money on your screen. I don't need to break that down for you. It's not looking too good. On the T side with an AWP, you could definitely justify maybe Gillows and stuff. They do have a coach behind them, so there it is. And you can see Phelps on the end there. Big household name, FNX as well. 2 major champions within the squad. And a finalist, like you said, in the form of KNG. So lots of experience there. Bits, like we said, 1.6 legends. Like, these are all big household names, really. Cello, I guess, the only player you couldn't really give the same amount of pedigree to, but certainly a decent player in his own right. We've seen him at a few events, I think minors primarily. As we get into round number 7 here, CZ, Steagles, and the AWP of KNG. You need to see him step up if we're going to have any chance of winning this particular round. Looks like an inside execution. Got 3 smokes available to him. Rob's perfect position to lock this sort of play down as they start to probe towards main entrance, try and get that first pick.
Nothing. Back turned will get inside of A main. Sticko. They get a deep smoke in there as well. Sticko's going to go with him. They're actually getting a lot of map control out of that, but it's over toward B they have to worry. And with pistols, it's unsurprising that you're going to see the bomb head that direction and try and get down quickly. AWP still for KNG. I don't expect that to go down. He should stay in the upper brown halls. They're going to try and boost him for a pick. Did I see correctly? Either way, he will get to the bottom of the ramp. He wants to try and find shots. He doesn't need to go much beyond that. Fortunately, his teammate's gone so quickly. Rops is able to dispose of him almost as fast, and it goes 6-1. If they'd gotten the bomb down, the point I was trying to make is that KNG could be the babysitter. Just sit in the halls with the AWP and let his teammates try and force them into angles.
6-1. mousesports running away with this one. NTC with a pretty lackluster approach towards inside. Robs, like we said, perfect position to really shut this one down. He is a solid set of hands and looks to find huge numbers in the first half. Double AWP set up for the first time. Sticko gets to show us what he's capable of with the AWP. Presumably AWPing towards Ivy. Looks like that's exactly where he'll be heading. No AWP for KNG here, but they have got the 5 rifles out. Train is the first map. It's a best of 3, remember. You could even lose the best of 3 and still be in the tournament. You just go down to the lower brackets. That's the beauty of an 8-team tournament. We do get to see a lot of CS. A couple of second chances. Can confirm that Liquid did close out that first map we covered in the initial sectors of this map. 16-14 to Liquid in the end, so unfortunately big. We better pick up that first map of the best of 3.
Nothing jumps off the ladder. I expect to see Jordan float quite a bit. Ooh. He's just walled above Pop Dog and hit Cello.
He has, you're right. That's a straight up dink as well. So a lot of damage inflicted. Sunny looking to convert him. Spots him, and there's the damage. You mentioned it. Nothing gets the dink. Sunny only has to hit a couple of bullets at that point. FNX does pull one back. Very handy fragger. Anyone will tell you that, but KNG wants to go help him out, but held by the flames for now. And it's now 4 versus 3. 40 seconds remaining. Remember, Rops still watching towards Ivy, so FNX still has his work cut out for him. KNG now starts to make his mark towards outside. Flames again, but he gets past him this time.
Does, and he'll fight forward the whole way in. In fact, no one's seen him at all yet, and Chris J rips him apart. I thought certainly he was good for 1, maybe even 2 kills with that position, and somehow Chris gets away with it. We've got a 7-1 score, but it's not Germany versus Brazil, mind you. mousesports is a German-based organization, Henry, and we are 200 meters away from that arena, as I mentioned. So 7-1 in Brazil, Germany versus Brazil, Belo Horizonte. It happens again.
There we go. They could have. We do need the German side in the other team, though. That's
well, they're a German org.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, okay. I guess I didn't really consider that too much. Maybe the stipulation has to be there has to be 1 German player at least.
All right. Listen, I just really want the 7-1 to happen in this city.
Well, this is about as close as it's probably going to get. This is the front runner so far. So we'll take it. You're right. We'll see what happens here, though. Another buy available. Chris J dodging the flashbangs as the smokes are deployed. Shots missed though. Chris J has to fall back somewhat. Gets to a safer position, and Phelps will be holding towards Olaf. 1 minute 20. And here it comes. Phelps surely goes down here, but might be able to get a double at this point. Just the one. Chris J does answer back quite effectively.
Quite effectively indeed. He's going to go aggressive. That smoke, the way it's deployed, is perfectly set to spot footprints. I don't think you really spot a footprint. You spot a foot. Yeah, underneath of it. Doesn't manage it. Sees him jumping across, but KNG taken out by Sticko. Still the crossfire in position. Sticko's low. Nade thrown. Sonny's not got his gun drawn. They actually have to give up the position. They do manage the kill. So fair enough, he gets one back, but he has to give up and concede hell in doing so. Chris can still hold off all the way to back 6 through quad. Gotta be careful. He just barely spotted and does see Cello. This is going to go to 8-1. Didn't expect FNX to be in the same position. I say that with bated breath. FNX is very capable, and individually, a 1 versus 2, forget all of this new team crap. He's got the skills. He can pull this off.
He's actually quite famous for winning these kind of clutches as well, but unfortunately, his reputation precedes him as he'll be taken down by Sunny there. And it will be round number 10 coming through. Bits 1 and 7. One of the older boys, I have to say. I don't expect him to be one of the main fraggers, as he'll find himself just that 1 kill there at the bottom. Only 1 round picked up in total, as there'll be a tactical timeout called by NTC.
Not surprising at this point in time. I'm not going to say I'm disappointed. Look, they're a new team, and there is their coach, by the way. They're a new team. They're first on LAN. There's going to be jitters. I'm a little disappointed not to have seen some more, I guess, flurries from them. You know, like they won the pistol, but I want to see, you know, someone stepping up. I want to see KNG hitting those shots. I want to see Cello opening up the sights. FNX, same thing, winning those clutches. I don't expect them to win the game, but I want to see signs of life.
Yeah, I think that's a very fair assessment to make. And unfortunately, they're up against mousesports for stand-in. They're getting battered right now. We'll see Train currently sat at 8-1 of NTC on the partial buy. They've obviously got maximum loss bonus. They won the pistol, remember. And since then, it's been nothing but grim scenes. P50 CZs, but as I always say, these are always the sort of rounds that seem to find life for squads like this. You change at the pace, you stop running defaults, and you take a few gambles with the CZs. It sometimes works out. Nothing there. Going for the same wallbang, this time not really inflicting any damage. So Bit now feels confident he can deploy his smoke. Same story for KNG. Outside execution, maybe a fake towards inside. The bomb's actually positioned towards inner right now. But it's going to get on the pop up by the looks of things. We'll see as they make their way outside. I tell a lie, I think the bomb's actually getting ready to go inner. Indeed it is, so this is a bit of a fake. 3 players now make their way towards inside, and the rotations have come through, but the CTs might be there in time nonetheless. There it is, drops to stop the bomb being planted. Through the smoke, it gets dropped, and now does Phelps. With a CZ, he'll get 1 kill, but that's all he'll find. As the pain continues here. NTC 1 round on the board. KNG with the AWP once again. He has got 5 frags, but we'll see if we can find a few more here. Needs to start stepping up as the double AWP setup comes out once again. Remember, we've seen Rob's AWP inside before. I'm not sure if yours casting review, but I think it was I can't remember, but it was one event. I got too many. Where he AWP'd the entire CT half inside bomb site. It was actually really, really good. I was casting with Harry. I think it was Sydney. That's where I think it happened.
Sydney, Australia. Well, this is, of course, NTC's pick.
That's not good news.
That's not good news, because we go to Mirage next, and we know that...
mousesports home turf.
Yeah, mousesports are very good. They have Chris J on catwalk, but they don't have Oscar in the window. Just keep that in mind. KNG does open up, finally, with an AWP, a first pick for NTC to work with. Smoke down Sticko. He'll see that AWP sitting and roasting inside of the flames. But nothing, again, is going to push A main. Sunny to support, bait and switch. Bait and switch. Sticko. Oh, if he fired in now. Would have a lineup. He gets the first one on Phelps all too easily. Bit goes out. Sunny was waiting for it. Sticko's going to go back with a flash. This is just easy from mousesports. Clinical. Catching them off with basic execution, basic utility. And NTC just walking into a slaughter time and time again. They're not assertive enough, it almost seems, after they get the opening pick.
Well, that wasn't the round I expected. The opening pick from KNG, I thought, well, that's it. That's going to be the first round, or the second round. I should say the first gun round would be more accurate. But as soon as they got the opening pick, it all just collapsed once again. Every frag going in favor of mousesports. We've got to follow Nothing's performance so far. He's not blowing them out of the server right now. He's on 4 kills, 6 deaths, but they are winning 10-1, so you can't really judge him too critically. He's obviously not played in a tournament like this in a very long time. As we'll have another buy here, just riding the coattails of the lost bonus at this point. NTC with Galil and FNX with no utility whatsoever and almost no health now, down to 30 points. Round 12, and really the game I was excited to cast. As I remember in the green room just before we came in, I thought this could be a good game. Let's see all the maps, considering the context of NTC trying to prove themselves, a young, hungry team. mousesports for stand-in. Could see a lot of fireworks go off here, but so far anything but. This could be a 14-1 half at this point, but it looks like with a good positioning, maybe they can get around here. Great shot by Phelps to quickly answer back. Nothing towards main entrance, and he won't get the kill, but Rob certainly will. Takes down KNG and Sticko towards the Ivy position now.
Sticko swings in, and Cello gets taken down. 19 HP for Sticko, but FNX left in another 1 versus 4. 31 HP. Bomb, AK, no utility. And absolutely destroyed by Nothing. Good game for Nothing to have as his first game in the tournament with mousesports. Hard part is you're not having to work or really struggle for the communication. It's confidence-inducing, but it's certainly not challenging in that they can work on strategy together. Sticko holding an Ivy has been pretty impressive.
Well, like we normally say, lost bonus will only get you so far already. You get $3,400 per round, but you're not planting. They've only got the bomb down. Have they got it down at all? I don't think they had the bomb planted once.
They may have on the pistol, but they won it anyway with kills.
Yeah, they did, exactly.
Yeah.
So I think they won the kills while planting, so they have literally not put the bomb down. That really is a bad sign. That could have been bad for mousesports, with Chris J finding the kills in return. Great shots by him. Bomb should be planted here. I can see them on the site at least. Come on. There it is. First bomb plant. We're off to the races.
Something to work with. Ooh, Chris. Clip that toenail. Take Cello down. They're going to get back toward hell, but once bitten, Sticko removed. As he gets the shot back with the CZ-75, Sonny does manage to take down KNG, and Chris will cover off on Bit. So again, it goes the way of mousesports, but finally a bomb plant. Nautim Como means has no way, apparently. And
has no way.
They have no way of winning this game, Henry. Oh, let the meme start. Roasted.
Has no way. I didn't know that. I thought it'd be something clever.
It's something like, I think that's a direct translation on Google. That's probably not. I think it's like, there is no way, or there's like
that's
no
probably,
chance type of thing.
More Google Translate not going to bode too well for us, but
no.
NTC needed last 2 rounds. I think you're all aware of that. I would say they might be able to get one of them, but that won't be enough. Let's see if they can win this particular round. Chris J doesn't want to give them anything. They go for the outside rush. They can still recover this round though, but nothing. Looking to spray a few down. Finds FNX, a big scalp to take. One of the key fraggers of this squad, and Nothing might get a double kill here. Lovely work by him. 5 versus 2 now, but Cello is fighting back. He's on the bomb side, but not for long. Nothing just removes him. It's a great round by him. Young Jordan getting it done. 13-1. Good Lord. Last round of the first half.
Yeah, and if this continues to go this way, then both Brazilian teams would start off with series losses.
In the lower brackets.
In the lower brackets, that would be rather
SK, I'm sure, can recover it. But maybe, to be fair, it's the first map we've seen of NTC.
True, and
they
maybe
haven't
they
played
can
this kind of tournament before. And we've seen plenty of teams go down 16-1 in their first opening map of a tournament, and then sometimes go on to win it. So it has happened before.
Stranger things have happened.
I think that's SK I'm referencing, right? They lost the first map, 16-1 against Fnatic.
Was it Fnatic?
Yeah.
And then they came back. No, that happened against Tyloo as well at Star Ladder.
Was that right?
They lost 16-1, then they forced overtime on map 2, and then won 16-4 in the third map.
No, well, there you go. That is right. No, it wasn't Tyloo. That was...
Oh, you're right. It was Vici.
Vici.
It was one of those teams. We mentioned 3. Just take your pick. Yeah, it was Vici. That's right, Flash. Good shot. Speaking of Flash, there was none. KNG in a Flash takes down Nothing.
Need the 13-2, boys. Come on. 4 versus 4 now. 14-1 is just the death sentence. Where is he? Oh, what do you look at it?
sometimes you just have to.
Go back and look at it.
Sunny waits below. They'll know. They'll be waiting with time. They're getting inside of the site fast enough that it may not matter, though, because by the time he gets in that position, they might be anticipating a flank from even just that pop dog. Good find. KNG. Cello reads on Rops. That flank isn't even going to transpire. They've gone back toward the outer site, and Chris J and Sticko will realize they have to go for this. It's round 15. But what can they achieve?
Not much, but Chris J, okay, he does hit the first shot. I didn't think this would even be slightly possible. Good grenade as well, could be converted by Chris. Can't find the alley-oop. Sticko, though, finding kills now. It's a 2 versus 2. They drop this round. It'd be an absolute disaster. 1 versus 1 could happen. Chris J goes down, has got a flashbang. He just full defusing it.
He is.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, that was actually quite smart. FNX was brave to go challenge that against the AWP. 13-2 does come through, but I'm not sure that's even enough. You don't even have a buffer now to win the pistol, or lose the pistol, I should say. You have to win the pistol. So match pause. I'm sure NTC will take the maximum time allowed, which is usually 2 minutes at half-time. But the boys, nothing looking quite comfortable. He finishes with 8 kills. Sure, he's at the bottom, but he had 1 very good round in number 14. And this was a pistol victory, remember? So the bomb was planted in pistol. I take that back. I said they hadn't got a plant down until late in the round. They did get the bomb down in pistol, but then won with the frags. I guess the GUI should be a little bit clearer when we have that on screen, like whether the bomb was planted, money gathered in that round.
Sure.
We could definitely do more with the scoreboard in CS.
There's lots more. I always say when you hover over, it should give you the order of kills too. Like have a 1, so you know who had the opening pick, and if they have 1 and 2, then they had 5 versus 3 that they lost. There's lots you could do. Just peeking in Apoca, I hope I'm saying that right. I guess it's Apoca because it's Apoca because it's short for Apocalypse.
Coach
is the coach of NTC.
What is his history?
Former 1.6 player, and has coached Luminosity, and I think that's it. If you go all the way back to, good shot, 2006, he was part of Made in Brazil for a period of time, apparently. Or sorry, he's part of G3X.
Okay.
He played against Made in Brazil. That said, it's Bit. They won the first pistol round. Who's got to stand tall on top of the train? He's got a shot on a Chris J. Falls off inside of the smoke. And Phelps is trying to figure out where they've gone toward the backtracks. Sunny gets to hell. Phelps has the bomb down. Good find as he looked back and caught Sticko in quad.
They could be winning both pistols here and still be down 13-3. That is a bit of a nightmare, but still, they had to win this pistol. Looks like it'll be working out for them. Sunny left in the 3 versus 1. CT's had a tray. No reason why they can't pull this back to at least more competitive scoreline.
KNG closing it out, so they get both pistols.
They do, and still a huge deficit against them, but that was the must win, and they did it. So well played. It will be round 17 here, and presumably force buy from mousesports. They're not going to invest too much, actually. No bomb planted, remember, so most teams would force buy here. Chris J goes in first with the Galil purchase. I think he's been dropped that by Sticko, considering he's got PT50 no armor. And he has indeed spent all his cash. So they're putting all their eggs in the Chris J basket. See whether he can be loud and proud here. Cello making his way towards Pop Dog with the UMP. Can't afford to give these rounds up. They did in the first half. They won the pistol, then lost round number 2.
Cello just holding underneath of the ladder, hoping that they'll jump down on top of him. They are flirting with the idea of baiting out some shots, getting some information, and Rops has done that. Oh, I would have loved to have seen that. He jumped across about 3 times and then just took his head clean off, it seems. With the CZ75, it's Phelps and Bit, and once again, they're going to win the pistol and potentially lose the ensuing anti-eco. Bit's got other ideas, so too does Phelps. They'll pull it back to a 3 versus 2. Look at the HP on all 5 players.
Yeah, it's still possible to win this one. Sunny knows it as well. He gives up that frag. It could all fall apart, but Robs now intelligently makes his way towards the backtracks. But Phelps being so silent, this still could fall apart. Robs, will he spot him at range? That's all we need to know. Does he go for the kill, though? Definitely does. Pulls it off. It's actually Sticko that gets the final killing blow that.
Oh, wow. Okay, clothesline. Those guys are going to be so annoyed. Both Phelps and Bit thinking that they were secure in their positions, getting caught off by random stranglers. And this is a 14-3 game. Both pistols have been won by NTC, and they have 3 rounds.
There we go. We'll get into 14-3 situation. Pendulum swings against NTC once again. Winning the pistol, both pistols, and you're down 14-3. not really much of the analysts to digest at that point, because there's not really much data them winning rounds to know their play style and what works out for them, who are the big names, because the only rounds they've won have been with those pistols. And this is a clean sweep for Sunny. He's got 3 frags so far. It's going to be map point. And with a reset, that really is not ideal.
This is big. Nothing just sneaks in behind him. He's looking, thinking, yeah, they're going to jump over. It does seem a bit of desperation at times. They aren't set and ready as of yet. Bit's the in-game leader, as by the way, so he's the, if you want to be, I know you said played with you in CGS, which was the pinnacle of all Counter-Strike in the history of the world.
In many ways, it defined what Counter-Strike is and what are the problems with it and what you should avoid.
Sometimes it's important to learn those the hard way.
Yeah.
But in terms of CSGO and this lineup, he is the least experienced.
Yeah, I guess it makes sense in terms of like all the other names here have played. I think we cast each other a few minors.
They've all been in North America for a period of time.
Yep, and Phelps played with SK, so did FNX. I think KNG was Immortals, obviously got to the major final with them. But this is such a small sample size of what they're good at. We can't really begin to really get into that sort of conversation, because this is like a 16-3. They've won both pistols. So I haven't really got much to know if they're a set-piece based team. They just got completely run over here by mousesports, who have got a player who doesn't actually play competitively anymore as a stand-in.
All right, listen, you're making it sound really bad. Just don't kick them while they're down. Put a fork in it.
I'm just saying.
I get the point you're making. Not to
it's the first map of best of 3, though. Like, regardless, win or lose, doesn't matter what the scoreline is. They've got another map to come up, but this was their pick. I mean, you do move on to Mirage next, but either way, 16-3 guaranteed at this point. Phelps won't be able to win this round. And let's see if we can get any frags from it. I don't think that will be possible either. Got no kit, no nades. UMP can't even defuse a bomb at this point.
So 16-3 is the way that it ends, with both pistols going to NTC. Vulnerability for mousesports, perhaps, if any other opponent was up against them, but NTC not looking super poised as of yet as a team, and a little bit disappointing, I have to say. It's so excited and waiting so long to see these guys back on land, and we didn't get much from them in the first affair.
Well, there we go. Missing the double AWP of Oscar still. Chris J looked very strong indeed. He managed to get 17 kills. At the tippity top, though, was Sunny with 24. Nothing started off quite. We got to double digits in the end. He had one very impactful round in round number 14, but didn't really have to break a sweat. Like we said, both pistols against him is still 16-3. NTC have got a lot of work to do if they're going to be competitive in this best of 3. They've dropped their map. It's Mirage next. And for now, Matthew.
And there was talk, just to note, that they weren't confident coming into this. I would have thought they could know that they were the dark horses and have some fun with it.
Well, there we go. Yeah, disappointing start, but it is a best of 3, and we'll see if they can bounce back after this very quick break. Matthew and I will be back with Mirage, and the analysts will break this one down for you.
Incendiary out.